It's nice because you're all, and I've heard it, you're all very natural. Scorch and T-Rye from Scorch and the Morning X at 9290X and 9290X.com. You should sign up to be a real rocker, by the way.
Oh, do that first.
Do you know what's great about it? And I don't want to say what's great about the show, but you know what's great about, thankfully, what's going on with the show? When we do endorsements.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is Scorch back, but he does endorsements too. It's beyond PFG.
I quit. Get me out of here.
Gone are the days of the Kingdom of Nakedness and its naked militia. We've entered the new era of peak entertainment on 92.9 The X. Or is it 92.9 Real Rock?
Check it out. You got to get on Real Rock TV. Yeah! Awesome. Awesome. These pads really do work.
Say hello to Scorch and the Morning X, Scorch's new radio show broadcasting out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin. If I pronounced that wrong and you'd like to correct me, kindly go fuck yourself. Sadly, Sibby's left us to travel to the great beyond, for only death could separate him from Scorch's side. But fear not, because Scorch's new co-host T-Rye is here to fill the hole Sibby left in all our hearts.
You know what I mean?
Let's get into it.
Some are odd and some deranged, stories that are very strange. Weird news.
If you don't live in the Wisconsin area, you won't be able to listen to Scorch on the radio. But lucky for us, you can tune in live from the station's website, 929 Thex. And boy did I pick a PFG time to release this video, because looky Miss Cookie, we're right in the midst of Jocktober, an event where you can send your gently used socks to Scorch and T-Rye for reasons. Just taking a look at the website, you could tell Scorch is the star of the station, prominently featuring some great posts from the man himself, but we'll get into that in a bit. Although you can listen to the station live from its site, you don't really get very much Scorch here. Just Scorch and T-Rye introing the eclectic mix of songs 929 The X hosts, ranging from classics by Guns N' Roses and Pearl Jam, to more contemporary rock from Rise Against and Beartooth. But who fucking listens to them?
You're a jerk off.
Scorch lives the American dream and wants to make the most out of being young, traveling from Manch Vegas to Wisconsin to entertain his audience of one. There's really only so much I could say about a radio show that plays music 99% of the time. If I play the songs, this video will get taken down, and what the fuck would I even say? Oh, they really know the ramp-up time for this one. So let's check out Scorch's podcasts. His first podcast goes by the name Hey, That's My Band.
Thank you guys for checking out what's turning out to be the first show of the summer season on Hey, That's My Band, the podcast.
Or Hey, That's My Band. My apologies, Scorch. Get ready for a shocker, because this podcast is also all about playing music. Except this time it's by unknown indie artists like the Chadwick Experience. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the Chapman Experience.
He's a singer, songwriter, comedian. He says he absolutely loves acoustic guitar, and he plays mainly acoustic rock with what he calls hints of comedy. It's Richard Chapman and the Chapman Experience on Hey, That's My Band, the podcast.
Exposure from Scorch is all this band needs. I think they paid for that shout out. Yeah, again, Scorch's airtime here is pretty limited due to the format of the show, and it kind of seems like Scorch may have abandoned this project because its latest episode was released on May 23rd of this year. So, fuck it. Let's get into the real wheel of meat and potatoes. Scorch's Sloppy Seconds. A podcast that showcases the best clips from Scorch and T-Rye on the Morning X. Wait a minute, you fat fuck. You made fun of Opie's podcast for being a clip show. Why are you giving Scorch a break? That's a good question, you fucking nincompoop. Here's my answer. Scorch doesn't hide it, and I'm a hypocrite. It's a star-studded podcast with appearances from Gremlins star Howie Mandel.
How did you, or when did you, or why did you discover that you can put a rubber glove over your head and blow it up into,
Happy birthday.
Heavy-titted comedian Chelsea Handler.
I like the name of the special, Vaccinated and Horny Tour. So if you don't get him with the vaccinated thing, you're going to get him with the horny part.
What happened to your voice? It sounds like you smoked a carton of Marlboro Reds last night.
and even shrill sausage-armed journalist Nancy Grace.
Next time I cheat, I'm going to be able to look at the girl and say, nah, you're not of my worthiness, because Nancy Grace said never cheat down.
Down, right.
I didn't say never cheat down. I say never cheat.
There are a lot of great Scorch moments here, but I can't play a lot of the clips because, again, there's copyrighted music playing in the background. For The Rock rarely stops on 92.9 The X, so I'd recommend you check out a few on your own to see what you're really missing out on. Scorch has this odd habit of asking his guests really stupid questions submitted by fans at the end of every interview.
This is something we ask our guests, just questions that have nothing to do with the interview, but just stuff in general. So,
You've spent 10 years in prison. You finally get out. What's the first thing that you grab to eat?
Sure, but the first thing I thought of was Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
It's usually food related. I can't tell if this is something the producers put him up to or if this is Scorch's idea of how to conduct a compelling interview. I don't really know.
You're not making the guests feel like anything is forced. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're actually making the guests feel comfortable.
Yeah,
which helps quite a bit.
It's gonna help a Scotch, sure.
He retired a few old bits, but reworked others. Although he still has his patented brain cell stimulator, Wheel of Meat and Doucher Dressing have since been dropped, while bits like Scorch's Top 5 and Weird News have been reframed as effed up facts and Scorch's Minimal Criminals. Here's a little taste of a post on the website so you know what to expect.
Retailers say it's rare that men purchase a candle. A fifth of millennials say they've never eaten a Big Mac. 2% of men say nachos are their favorite thing to eat while watching sports.
Not particularly effed up, but they might be facts. Scorch's Minimal Criminals bit consists of linking articles he found that day and not really talking about them, but more just posting them on the site. And what a hilariously low-res image to headline these wacky stories. Scorch is a Renaissance man, so he doesn't just limit himself to radio. He's got a pretty successful acting career too, according to his IMDb page. Scorch was apparently in 2016's Suicide Squad as an uncredited death row inmate, but after rewatching that piece of shit, I didn't see him anywhere. Please, if you feel like rewatching that movie, let me know if you spot him. He also played an extra in a Katy Perry music video, but again, I have no idea where he was. So I'll just take Scorch's word for it and trust that he was actually a part of these productions. Here's something you Compound Media boys may enjoy. Scorch's Instagram page. Here's his bio. Major crimes, Aryan Nation, deep undercover, and more. Scorch, you may not want to put Aryan Nation in your bio. It kind of sends the wrong message. These are shows that Scorch has appeared in, not his political beliefs. It seems like our pal Scorch has been typecast as not only a criminal, but a skinhead too. He's played a white supremacist 5 times in the last 5 years. Here he is acting opposite Breaking Bad's Tuco on TNT's season finale of Major Crimes.
One of you owes child support. One of you is wanted for questioning in Reno. And one of you had meth in his pocket when we picked you up.
He's kind of a big deal. Scorch keeps really busy. We'd be here all day if I covered everything he's been up to since PFG TV. So here's just a couple observations to wrap things up for now. First off, holy shit, Scorch doesn't age. He looks exactly the same as he did on PFG TV, and he looks significantly better than all 3 hosts of the Opie and Anthony show. Fuck, he's even aged better than his protege Sam Roberts, who is looking and sounding more and more like Little Scorch with each passing day. Scorch is an eternal flame that will never burn out. He still does his Pause for the Cause charity event and has raised over $500,000 in the 10 years he's been doing it. He also hosted Dancing with the Eau Claire Stars 2 years ago, but sadly there's no footage of that event, which is such a fucking shame. Say what you want about Scorch, but the man is determined. He's not content to sit on the beach and bitch. He's out there still working, still grinding. It's a shame he's shackled by such an outdated radio format and hampered with co-hosts that clearly don't understand his unique brand of entertainment. But Scorch, despite his many flaws, is still a personality. Someone that, for better or worse, is just captivating to listen to.
What initially brought them to call you back on? It was a crowd, people writing in. So that Cara Maria, man, there was something about her.
So yeah, tune into Scorch in the Morning X because no one else is. I'll leave a link in the description to the site, and here's the studio's number in case you'd like to call in and talk to Scorch yourself. Of course, supportive calls only, people. This is Socktober, not Jocktober. What more can I say about a guy like Scorch? He's out there shaking his dick, doing his thing, and I think that's just great. The show may be the most watered-down version of Scorch we've seen, but hey, I mean, at least he hasn't completely faded into obscurity. He's got a radio show, 2 podcasts, an acting career to fall back on. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll finally get to see Scorch return to public access for PFG TV The Reunion. A man can dream.